live with Guy Reedy, Colonel Guy Reedy at the Mississippi Army National Guard. I wanted to ask him a few questions. We're getting ready for Let Freedom Ring. And Guy, just tell us a little bit. How long have you been in the National Guard, and why did you choose this direction in your life?
You know, I've been in the National Guard almost 28 years now. And I initially got into the National Guard getting money for school. You know, it's just kind of one of those opportunities. I had a lot of friends in the National Guard and ended up joining for the school money, but then ended up really enjoying it. So from that, I've turned a career into that. I now work full-time for the National Guard and have been working full-time for them for almost 20 years now, and just have really enjoyed that part of my life and that journey.
So where all have you been with the Guard? Where have you been deployed, and what are some of your experiences protecting our country?
You know, I've been a lot of places throughout the United States, but outside of the United States, I've been to Afghanistan and spent just about a year over there. I've been into Qatar and into Baghdad and different parts of Iraq. I've gotten to travel all throughout Europe on some different planning missions and things that we were doing between Germany and Italy and now Lithuania and Latvia. I've been down in South America to Guatemala on some exercises down there, as well as Trinidad.
Wow. So I remember, and a lot of people at First Baptist are going to remember, that you were deployed right when your youngest child was about to be born. Tell us what that was like to, for your full-time job to be in the military, but also as a husband and a father. What kind of struggle was that? What were you feeling when all of that happened?
You know, I look back on the times when I've been deployed, and I count those as years that I've missed out of my children's lives, and so that is tough. But in all truthfulness, I feel like sometimes that my job overseas has been easier than Kim's job has been back having to take care of the girls during that time as a single parent.
What has been the most rewarding thing about serving our country?
You know, just the camaraderie and just all of the different friends that I've made throughout all of the services. You know, a lot in the Army, but I've got a lot of friends that, you know, in the Marines and the Navy and the Air Force that I've come across paths with, both overseas that I've worked with and stateside, but just have really enjoyed the life that the military has provided, and I just get a lot of pride out of what I get to do for my country in serving. It's nice to be able to serve my country in this way, as well as, you know, the service that I provide when we're at the church. You know, it's kind of like just a different way to serve.
So what is it like? You go into countries that the ones that you've just named that are not Christian countries. As a matter of fact, it's probably pretty hard on you guys when you go in. What's it like being a Christian, being in the military? What kind of influence do you think you have, and what kind of influence do you think we have as a country on these other countries?
Well, we always want to portray a good Christian influence on the countries that we do visit. There's a lot of times when, especially at the levels that I've been working, that we don't always get to interact with some of the people in the countries. When I was in Afghanistan, I didn't do a whole lot of interactions with the local people there. Now, when I was in Iraq, I got a few more times to be in some of the small villages and just to, you know, show love to some of those people, and just to show them that America is not a big bad nation, but we're there and we want to care and we want to help, and we want them to make a better life for themselves throughout the process that they're going through at that time.
How has your faith impacted your being able to serve?
So my being able to serve and how that impacts my faith, for the main part of that, I enjoy just being able to live out my faith in my leadership role that I have in the National Guard. As an officer, then I like to think that I'm influencing people in a better direction and providing an environment for people to be in where they can see what Christ has done for me, and then how he can better help them in their lives.
Does it cause you to pray even more specifically for our country and for your fellow servicemen, knowing the challenges out there, and knowing that, you know, being in a Christian country, the importance and what our role is as Christians to carry the gospel to the ends of the earth? Do you feel like that role has crossed over into your career?
You know, it always causes us to pray more for our troops and more for what our guys are going through, because we know, and we've been to places and we've seen those things, but as a Christian, we know the things that they're going to deal with and fight with every day. So it makes me want to even pray for them more and just to reach out to them as much as possible.
We interview a lot of veterans from all generations, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and every one of them, the common theme is that I love my country and I love what we're doing, and the freedom that we're able, that we understand, we would do it all over again. Do you feel that way?
Stand by.
Would you take this journey again? You can think about that question. Colonel Reedy's taking a break. You're still live. Our cameraman.
Oh, don't do that.
Let me just pan and show you what we're looking at here. This is quite impressive. We're on the campus of Camp Shelby.
There we go. All right, ready to roll?
Okay. So would you do this all over again? Would you take this journey again, knowing what you know and the time that you've been away from your family? Would you do this again?
You know, there's a lot of things that I've done in my life that if I had to do it over again, I would probably do a lot of things different. But this is not one of those. I mean, if I had to do it all over again, I would proudly serve and join and do most of all the things that I've done in the military. And I think that you can't be a part of this and not love it, and you also just can't serve and not be proud of what our soldiers are doing and the direction that our nation is going in some of these. So when it comes to the guys that have gone before us, you know, those guys from World War II, and those guys really had it a lot more difficult than we have had it. And I don't want to take anything away from the soldiers that are serving now and those that have been through all the Gulf Wars, but those soldiers that served in World War II that were gone for years on end with little or no communications with their family, I've got the utmost respect for everything that those guys did, and they deserve nothing but that. So this journey has been great, and I would do it all over again if I had to start over tomorrow.
Great. Well, thank you, Guy. Thank you for sharing with us, and good luck in everything you do. And we will see you on Sunday.
Good deal. Thank you.
Cool.